What's going on, everyone? Calvin Quinton here. Today, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to land your first wholesale deal using on-market properties and a step-by-step agent system that requires pretty much $0 in marketing. This isn't a get-rich-quick fantasy. We're going to be pretty close to a zero budget. So the less money you have to put into the business, the more time you're going to have to put into the business. But this is a real proven system that I've personally used to generate six-figure months in wholesale and real estate, and it works for beginners who don't have thousands to spend on marketing. Let's get into it. Let's start with some honesty, guys. If you're here from TikTok or YouTube Shorts, you've probably seen flashy videos promising quick cash with wholesaling. They're saying stuff like $10,000 in 30 days or just find a deal and simply assign the contract. But the harsh reality is that 90% of most wholesalers quit within the first 3 months. Why is that? Because they discover what the gurus didn't tell them. Successful wholesaling typically requires a serious marketing budget. And when you're 18 to 22 years old and trying to make a better life for yourself, that budget simply doesn't exist. Trust me, guys, I was in your same shoes. I didn't have a huge budget either. Here's what successful wholesale operations actually spend on marketing every single month. The beginners right here are usually dropping around $1 to $5K a month on marketing, typically VAs and a small PPL budget. Established operations between $5,000 to $10,000. Big wholesale shops between $10,000 to $50,000. And then you have those enterprises that are spending $50,000+ a month on marketing. This is the reality no one wants to talk about. So if you're starting with basically no budget and traditional wholesaling requires thousands of dollars in marketing spent, are you going to just be doomed? Is it impossible to get your first deal without a big marketing budget? These are the questions that should be coming up, and it's absolutely not impossible. But you need to get creative and understand the trade-offs, guys. Here's where the opportunity comes in. On-market properties are literally a free database of motivated sellers. These people have already taken action. They signed a contract with the agent specifically to sell their property. You don't even have to convince them to sell because they already want to. They reached out to an agent to sell their property. This is the fundamental trade-off in real estate. When you have less money, you need to invest more time and effort. When you have more money, you can buy shortcuts. You can get a VA. You can go pay for leads. You can do a lot more higher leverage tasks in the business. Since we're starting off with a zero budget, you're literally going to have to put in more time and persistence than someone with a $10,000 monthly marketing budget. So let's get into the actual system. Step 1 is accessing your free lead database. Zillow.com, Redfin.com. These are completely free resources that give you access to every property listed for sale. This is your gold mine. It doesn't cost you a penny to get on these websites. I guess if you're paying for the Wi-Fi bill, it's just what the Wi-Fi bill costs. Let's get specific about how you use these free resources. I recommend Redfin because their filters are excellent for what we need. So I would recommend Redfin, but I know a lot of people use Zillow. I'm just a Redfin guy. But you don't need paid access. The free version gives you everything required to find these deals. Here are the exact filters I use and recommend to get a lot of these deals on market. The first thing we're going to focus on is cities over 400,000 population. This ensures you have enough volume of opportunities. For me, I like to only select houses in multifamily just because when you're dealing with condos, townhomes, you're going to be dealing with a lot of HOAs, and sometimes those can kill deals. I specifically just like catering towards houses and multifamily. But if you have a buyer that wants to buy condos, you could toggle condos. I then filter for properties that have been on market for 90+ days. These are your stale listings where sellers are getting desperate. And then what I do is I set my max price to $200,000 to find those affordable properties that are easier to work with. Usually the properties under $200,000, they have a lot higher conversion rates. Just because the interest rates don't affect these properties as much, your buyer pool opens up a lot more. These houses tend to have more equity in the deals, so they're not underwater on the mortgages. There's a lot more negotiation room. So I like to be under $200,000. Why these specific filters? Again, for 90+ days on market, these sellers are getting worried their property won't sell. They're much more open to creative finance offers, not just a cash offer or traditional offer. For the properties under 200K, they're more likely to be free and clear, like I said, higher equity positions. They're less affected by interest rates. Also, this is what I like to look for, is I like to look for turnkey properties right here. These are already rent ready for investors. They have lower entry fees with no rehab costs, because in real estate, just because you agreed on a down payment of $10,000 on a property with the seller doesn't mean your total entry fee is $10,000. It may need a $30,000 rehab, and that brings your entry fee to $40,000. So when we're dealing with turnkey homes, our entry fees become a lot lower. So these are perfect for creative finance strategies. This is the crucial part. We're only making creative finance offers on these properties. Why? Because these sellers already have tried to get their price and failed. The market has spoken, but we can give them their number through creative finance terms. Seller financing, subject to, or sometimes hybrid structures. I'd recommend staying away from those just because a lot of times the numbers don't pan out. But if we really have to and we can make the deal work, we do hybrids as well. And here's how to quickly generate professional offers on market. You copy the property address from Redfin, you paste it into Deal Sniper. The website's dealsniper.ai, and it automatically creates a professional letter of intent with creative finance terms. Now, you don't need Deal Sniper. You can create these offers manually, but it does save a tremendous amount of time when you're sending 20 plus offers daily. It turns that 15 to 20 minutes of work into 2 seconds. Everybody that's watching this video, if you stayed through this video so far, I've arranged a free 1-week trial on Deal Sniper. I put the link in the description, so you can just go to the description and claim your free week trial. And for a complete walkthrough of Deal Sniper, this isn't going to be a Deal Sniper catered video, so I'm not going to show you how to use it. But if you want a complete walkthrough, I also have that video in the description as well. But going back into this business, this is a pure numbers game. You need to be sending at least 20 offers every single day. That is a non-negotiable. If you could do more, do more. And if you have a partner, one person can focus on sending offers while the other handles agent follow-up calls. The math is simple. More offers equals more potential leads. But remember, these are rough metrics that require proper follow-up systems and lead nurturing to reach their full potential. Here's why 99% of beginners fail on market. They send the offer and wait. Big mistake right here. After you send each offer, you must call the agent immediately. This one step alone will put you ahead of most wholesalers right here. When you call, just keep it simple. I put a little script right here. Hey, Mr. Agent, I just shot you over an offer on 123 Main Street. Just wanted to confirm you received it since these emails often go to spam. Can you confirm you got my offer? Bang. Once it confirms, now we're waiting. Let me give you some high-level game that nobody talks about. Agents are overwhelmed and they're often pretty lazy. I get it, they're supposed to be professionals. That's not what you can expect out of them. They get dozens of these emails daily and prioritize what seems important, what's gonna make them the most money. When you call, you just moved your offer from a random email to a person I spoke with. This psychological shift is massive, and I've tested this extensively. Called back offers get presented to sellers at 3x the rate of email offers only. Let's dive into the numbers. Here's what actually happens after you send offers. About 60% of agents won't ever respond. Another 25% will quickly reject your offer. About 10% will say they'll present it to the seller. And about 5% will actually show immediate interest. These are the real metrics that no guru will actually tell you. But here's the secret. These numbers are actually good when you understand the process. This is where you need a complete mindset shift that separates professionals from amateurs. This is the mindset transformation right here. Every rejection is not a rejection. It's just progress. Every no is not a no, it's just a not yet. And silence just means another opportunity to follow up. Now let's talk about the system that actually makes you money, guys. Follow-up process. This is where the real deals happen. I've tracked this meticulously across hundreds of deals. 73% of my successful deals came after the third follow-up. How many people do you know that are actually following up one time? Most wholesalers don't even follow up once. This is your competitive edge that you can easily get in the business. Here's my non-negotiable 2-week rule that's responsible for millions in deals. Every property that's still on market gets a fresh follow-up every 14 days, no exceptions. Why? Because the seller's psychology shifts dramatically over time. What was a firm no at day 30 becomes a maybe at day 60, and often a yes at day 90. Most wholesalers give up after that one try, and that's why they fail. This business requires disciplined tracking. Every offer, every agent contact, every follow-up must be documented. I've tested dozens of systems, and even the simplest spreadsheet works if you're consistent. Guys, look at this diagram right here. You can literally make a Google sheet with columns titled property address, agent contact, offer date, follow-up status, and this is all you need right here. And this isn't optional. This is what separates six-figure wholesalers from everyone else. You gotta track your data. You gotta know exactly where you're at in each deal. And here's my controversial but proven philosophy. Leads never die until 1, the property sells to someone else. Number 2, the agent blocks your number. Number 3, you discover title and lien issues, or if there's bag taxes, stuff in that nature. And then 4, the numbers obviously don't work. Let's say the interest rate's 9% and they have no equity. Something clear that makes the numbers actually not work. That's when I'll kill a deal. But I rarely classify a lead as dead. That lead gets followed up on until the property sells to me or someone else. I don't care if the agent says, F you, stop calling my phone, whatever. They're getting followed up within a couple weeks. Now let's talk about why most beginners fail. They're giving up too soon, quitting before the system actually works. They don't have a follow-up system. They're trying a one and done approach where they're calling an agent, making an offer, agent says no, they get butthurt and quit. They have absolutely no follow-up. They also don't have a tracking system. You can't improve what you don't measure. You don't know what to follow up on. You don't know what agent said they were interested in because you sent 50 more offers and you forgot about that agent. You gotta have a tracking system. And it's also inconsistent offers. Just because you send 10 offers today doesn't mean it's a successful week. You gotta send 10 offers every single day. Now, I said 20. I think you should do 20 offers a day, but for this example, you gotta pick a number that you can do with the time and you have to show up every single day. Don't miss days and you will be good. Consistency is everything, guys. The biggest mistake by far is just giving up too soon. Most quit really right before they're gonna break through. Now, your action plan. Here is your exact steps. Step 1, set up these Redfin filters that we went over before. That takes a couple minutes. Step 2, you're gonna start sending 20 offers immediately. Step 3, after you sent those 20 offers, call every agent to confirm the receipt. I would recommend do this. Send one offer, call the agent. Send one offer, call the agent. Because now you're giving your email a break. Your email's not going to burn out. It's probably not going to get flagged because you're giving it that time in between. So send one offer, call the agent to confirm. Send the next offer, call the agent to confirm it. 20 leads a day. If you could do more, do more. Step 4, every time you get off the phone with these agents, if the call didn't go expected or there's no clear next action plan, schedule a 2-week follow-up with each agent. Check back in on it. See if that 90 days turned into 104 days on market. And then step 5, commit to 90 days minimum. Guys, this is going to be the most important thing. I was literally just talking to somebody. They came from TikTok. They thought they were going to get a contract their first 2 weeks. And he called me this morning. He was like, bro, I'm 4 weeks in. I thought I was going to get my first contract, and I'm finally getting traction. There's agents that are reaching back out to me from offers I sent the first week, and they're saying they're interested. So your pipeline takes a little bit to catch up to you. When your pipeline is getting built up and you keep on staying consistent, eventually that pipeline starts spitting out deals every single week. And guys, the system works only if you stay consistent. Start today, not tomorrow, not the next week. The sooner you begin, the sooner you will see results. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys found value in this and want to work with me directly, I do work with a small group of serious wholesalers who want to scale the system even further. The link is in the description as well if you want. But again, you guys don't need this. You guys just need to work hard. You guys need to lock in, whether you use a free system or work with me directly. I wish you massive success in your wholesaling business, but I am always an outlet, guys. If you guys do want to work with me, you can reach out to me on Instagram. I have my Instagram right here, or you could just go to the inner circle.dealsniper.ai to book a call with me and we can talk to see if we're suitable for each other. But I appreciate you guys watching the whole video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.